I didn't know you'd be in full uniform. Looking good.
Hey, I had to dress up for you. You're in your suit, I'm in my suit.
Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in football, Madden cover star. What's going on, buddy?
Just hanging out, Kevin. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy you're here. Let's start here. When I talk to people around the league about Madden or college football, depending on what your deal was when you were 14 years old, they learn ball from it, frankly. Matt LaFleur is a good example of somebody who said, I just learned from video games. And I'm curious where you come in on that. Like, how much ball did you learn from Madden when you're just a kid just trying to figure out coverage schemes, defenses, that kind of thing?
As a kid, I played it so much that I picked up on those things, right? What the defenses were doing, what cover 2 and cover 3 and cover 1, what they all meant. But even the rules of the game, right? Like just the intricacies of offsides or, illegal downfield pass because I was running, I crossed the line of scrimmage. So just the little things that not many kids knew, that when I was playing the game of football, I had a better grasp of what was going on and why things were happening, why holding was called. So I felt like it did give me a step up, in terms of early football life.
That's interesting. I heard through the grapevine that you used to control Ken Dorsey, your offensive coordinator. Tell me about that and why he was your QB.
Yeah, that's probably a big question, is why. He's 38-2 as a college quarterback. Let's not forget that. So he was on the 49ers, and I believe the quarterback that they had before, who was the first string, was either Tim Rattay or Sean Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But Dorsey, he had more speed than them. So I'd always go and substitute Dorsey and put him as the first string guy. So it's just kind of small world, full circle how now he's kind of controlling me on the field.
That seems like a low bar to clear, brother. Ken Dorsey had the most speed on the depth chart?
He did. He did.
Wow.
We can fact check that, I think.
No, I just can't believe that shows how much the game has changed, I guess. That shows how much the game has changed. All right, so let's get into, speaking of Ken Dorsey and the 2023 Bills, some self-scouting here. You do a great job. We've talked a bunch in August with our buddy Kevin right nearby about the season going ahead, and you're always good at self-scouting and understanding what you need to improve on. If you're watching Josh Allen in 2022, you saw what?
I saw a guy that was trying to make plays. There's a couple times where my eyes were in the right spot. Understanding my concepts more going forward is what I'm doing, and I think we're doing a great job as a staff in terms of finding the concepts that are working for us and that have worked well in the past for us, and continuing to improve on those, and maybe getting away from the stuff that we didn't do well last year. And everything, again, is going to have statistics and data that backs up really our claims there. So I'm just trying to understand that and then just be more efficient, holding on to the football when I need to, and not taking the hits, not forcing balls and turning the ball over. And I think, if you look at basically all the statistics in the league, we're top 5 in every major category. And then you add in all the turnovers that we had. If you take those back and you allow us to utilize those possessions, who knows, what we're capable on offense. So we understand that. I got to be more efficient. I got to be better with the football. But again, I think some of the things that we do, some of the off-platform things that I do, helps those numbers as well. So there's always this little, give and take on when you need to be aggressive and when you need to be conservative.
When you talk about efficiency and obviously taking care of the ball and all of that stuff, what is the mental part of it? You mentioned the off-platform stuff helps. Like, you are one of the best improvisers in the history of modern football. So what's the push and pull as far as, okay, I need to take care of the ball, but I don't want to change as a person and as a player and my mentality? What's the push and pull there, Josh?
Yeah, I think understanding situational football to the best of my ability. If it's a late game, we need something to happen, allowing myself to kind of flip a switch and be like, all right, you gotta make something happen here. Or if it's, first possession of the game, it's 0-0 game. Our defense has been playing good throughout the year, depending on really who's on the other side of the ball. Like, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Just understanding those factors and trying to apply it in real time, which isn't always easy, and it's easier said than done. But having a clear plan with my coaching staff and my head coach in terms of, when do I have the green light? When can I turn it on? And then when should I be the conservative guy that's like, let's not force anything here. If it's a punt, it's a punt. Ending every drive in a kick is is always a positive thing. But there are definitely times where you need to turn that on. And you need to make a play and inspire teammates.
It's interesting. You guys kind of got away from the quick game last year. Your average depth of target went up a little bit. You were going deeper. Is there in your head like a schematic happy medium that you're looking for this year?
I mean, I definitely think you can say that. I think the more efficient passes are going to be the ones that are closer to the line of scrimmage, in theory, right? But there's also a lot of plays to be made that are down the field, and because of the guys that we have outside, you talk about Stephon Diggs, who I think is the greatest receiver in the game right now. You have Gabe Davis, who his average depth of reception is, I think, number 2 in the league behind Jalen Waddle. So guys that can go downfield and make plays. Dawson Knox, a vertical threat. So you don't want to take that away from the guys that are really good at that. But like you said, the happy medium of finding some of these completions that are like catch and run, and allowing guys like on our team now, Khalil Shakir and Deontay Hardy and then Dalton Kincaid to catch and run and have those opportunities to make these big plays without having to put too much work into it, where they can catch and run and get that rack for us.
All right. What's the best you've ever felt on a football field? Like, give me your favorite play, the play that if you get to take one play with you into the afterlife to watch for all eternity, it's this one.
So this is my favorite play, or like the play that
your favorite play that you ever run with your teammates, winning, whatever the circumstances were, you get to bring one play with you to the afterlife to watch over and over again. What is it?
I think it's the 98-yard touchdown to Gabe Davis last year against the Steelers into the wind. It's 3rd and 14. Dorsey calls a big play, and not many people in that situation would call that. So the steals that he had to be able to call that play there and allow us to execute it, and then Gabe obviously runs a good route and throw it and get hit by Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I'm laying there in the end zone and I can see on the big screen Gabe running and there's nobody in to catch him. So that was a pretty fun one.
Well, what's the secret to that play that nobody would understand unless you were within it? As far as scheme, as far as Gabe, as far as Dorsey, like if you're watching this and you're saying you need to know about this, what is it?
Yeah, it's an option route. So he didn't have to run a post there. He could have ran a curl. He could have ran an in cut. But based on what the safeties were doing, they doubled him and Diggs outside. So both guys had 2 guys on him, and he just decided to take the right angle. And if you look at the flags and the goalpost, they were moving pretty crazy. So just kind of, it's almost like a golf shot. It's a blind shot sometimes, where it's like hit it and hopefully that it's close to the pin. So, but I just throw it up there and let Gabe Davis run under it.
It's a crazy time to be a quarterback in the AFC right now, because not only do you have Patrick and Joe, but now you have Aaron and all of that stuff. And I know that this is a topic that gets thrown around ad nauseum, but you guys' expectations when you are almost in Super Bowl contention every single year is the Super Bowl. How have you viewed the 2023 season because of the depth of quarterback in that conference? And it seems to me that obviously you guys have Super Bowl expectations every single year. How do you view your expectations specifically for the Bills in 2023 because of all this?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the position at quarterback in the AFC is maybe the most, like, there's a lot of impactful quarterbacks. There's a lot of great quarterbacks, young and old, in the AFC right now. So these games are going to be dogfights, and it's not about how much you win them by. It's if you win them. So that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to score one more point than our opponent. As a quarterback, I'm not really looking at who's on the other side of the football. I don't play them. I play their defense and their defensive coordinator. So, but there is certain things that will influence, play calling and decision making based on who is over there. So, right, we don't want to give the ball back to them. We don't want to give those guys short fields. But every game is going to be a dogfight, and we got to go into those games with that mentality of just, let's score one more point than the opposing team.
You looking forward to having Aaron Rodgers in the division?
I am. I've gotten to know Aaron over the last couple of years, and I'd consider us, fairly close. And I don't say we text on the regular, but I FaceTime him. I don't really call him all that much. I FaceTime him. He usually answers, which is a big plus. I know he doesn't answer a lot of people.
Wait, that's the big thing, is that he said the Packers weren't FaceTiming him. So Josh Allen figured this out. You just FaceTime Aaron Rodgers.
Just got to FaceTime him. That's it. He'll answer. No, but I am. I mean, I've been such a fan of him, as a little kid, having Aaron Rodgers jerseys and trying to emulate what he does on the football field. And, he's such a special player. I think he's the most gifted thrower of the football of all time. And to now be going against him twice a year, and it's going to be battle.
Quick one for you. Best defense that you faced in your career?
That's a tough question. Well, my first start was against I think at the time was the San Diego Chargers, who were pretty nails. They had obviously Bosa, who's an animal. They had Derwin James. They had Melvin Ingram coming off the edge. They were pretty good.
F1 for F1 newbie. I'm not one. I have podcasts. I saw you at the Miami race last year. What is your favorite thing about F1?
My favorite thing about was Danny Ricciardo. I know he's not on the grid right now.
Yeah, you never know. He might be back in the mix.
I'm hoping so. It's just not the same without him. I will say that, but I think that there's so many details that go into place, and I think that it's kind of I'd say it's a microcosm of football where you don't really win the race on race day. You win it in qualifying and in practice. So it's the preparation that allows you to have that success on game day, on race day, whatever you want to call it. And I think that message can be easily applied to the game of football as well.
Yeah. Josh Allen, you're the Madden cover star. Anything else we need to know about Madden?
It's my favorite cover of all time.
not much of a surprise, mine too. Josh Allen, thanks for coming on Sony today, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much.